This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, everybody. It's Dr. Doug Smith. It's 2:30 on a Wednesday. So it is time for our Monday through Thursday 2:30 podcast. And I'm pretty excited about today's podcast. There's a possibility we might have had a little bit of progress here. Long story short, and pretty much everything we do is a long story, but long story short, we throw everything against the wall we possibly can, hoping that something will stick. And back on May 15th, as you can see here, I wrote a letter to Pam Bondi, an open letter, copied a whole bunch of people on it. And Pam Bondi is the Attorney General. Little known fact, I'd actually hosted a fundraiser for her back in the day. And people don't think about it, but the Attorney General oversees also the Bureau of Prisons. And think about how many people caught up in this opioid crisis. Think about how many people who've been genetically damaged have spent time in prison and are spending time in prison. And hey, the prison didn't invent this problem, but like so many other things, it ends up on their doorstep. A lot of people went to prison for stuff they wouldn't have done if it hadn't been for the sickness. And those of you who've experienced a sickness know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll do things you otherwise never would have done. Okay, you'll break every 10 commandment practically possible to get out of that sickness. I've never felt the sickness myself, but y'all have explained it to me very well, and what you would do to get out of the sickness, particularly by day 3 or 4. And so you can see the letter I wrote to General Bondi, and basically saying, hey, you got a whole bunch of people in prison who are sick. And the psychiatrists are just wrong. So don't get in the car with the psychiatrist and drive over the cliff. Do the right thing. Let's follow the science, and let's check blood levels on people in opioid withdrawal, particularly on day 3. Okay, that's when we did our blood draws, was on day 3. So that's the only science we have. So I picked day 3. When people are on day 3 of opioid withdrawal, let's draw their blood for abnormal blood levels. By the way, if it's a mental health issue, why would they have abnormal blood levels? Right? If it's a mental health issue, why would their adrenaline levels be abnormal? Adrenaline is a term that the layperson uses. Catecholamines is a term that the medical person uses. There are 3 catecholamines, 3 adrenalines, epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine. And hey, let's just draw the levels on people in prison who are sick. And if they come back elevated, then it's not opioid addiction. The psychiatrist is wrong, and they're not being properly treated. Okay, which is huge liability for the Bureau of Prisons. And lo and behold, the Rear Admiral actually, I just got this letter right before the podcast came in as an email. The Rear Admiral actually wrote me a very nice letter. You guys recall the letter we got last week from the FDA. I mean, they mocked us. They made fun of us. This letter from the Rear Admiral at the Bureau of Prisons, he's not making fun of us. He's not mocking us. We actually made some progress here. There are some things about this letter that I really like. Okay. Let me read the first paragraph to you. Dear Dr. Smith, this letter is in response to your correspondence to Attorney General Bondi, dated May 21st, 2025. I thought it was dated May 15th. But anyway, dated May 21st, 2025, regarding opioid withdrawal and the potential implications of catecholamine toxicity in incarcerated individuals. That's it. That's the whole thing. He got it. Okay, regarding opioid withdrawal, that's right, opioid withdrawal. People are sick when they're in opioid withdrawal. Regarding opioid withdrawal and the potential implications of catecholamine toxicity in incarcerated individuals. Thank you. You read the letter and you understood it. Thank you. Thank you for not treating us like the redheaded stepchild. Thank you for not giving us a response like the FDA did, and just a flippant response and basically insulting our intelligence. Okay, his letter indicates he understands the issue. He says, regarding opioid withdrawal and the potential implications of catecholamine toxicity in incarcerated individuals. That's it. He phrased it better than I did. Okay, I might actually start using that phrase. I like the way he phrased it. Okay, and by the way, who is he? His name is Rear Admiral Chris, I think it's pronounced Bina, Assistant Director, Health Services Division, Federal Bureau of Prisons. This is a high up guy. Okay, Rear Admirals are high up guys. This is a high up guy. This is not a mid level bureaucrat. And you can see at the bottom of this letter, CC. CC, by the way, used to stand for carbon copies. Nobody uses carbon copies anymore, but that's what it stood for, was carbon copy. It was actually a carbon tissue paper you'd put in between two pieces of paper and make a copy. So we still use CC for carbon copy. William K. Marshall, Director of the Bureau of Prisons, and Joshua Smith, Deputy Director of the Bureau of Prisons. We did good here. We shot high and we hit high. Okay, and he gets it. He understands it, and that's not easy to do. I'm very thankful for him. Okay, and then the second paragraph: the Bureau of Prisons remains committed to providing medically necessary evidence-based care that that meets accepted community standards for all individuals in custody. This includes the identification and treatment of opioid use disorder through a range of interventions, including screening, withdrawal management, and access to medication for opioid use disorder where clinically indicated. I appreciate your interest in the health and safety of the individuals in federal custody. There's nothing negative in this letter, which is, frankly, the first letter we've gotten that didn't have something negative in it. Okay, they're, at least according to this letter, it implies that they're taking us seriously. Now, nowhere in this letter does it say he's checking the blood levels. Okay, so I got to follow up. Okay, but I will follow up politely and professionally. Okay, nowhere in here does it say that he's actually planning on checking the levels. So I will follow up. I'm not going to drop the ball on this. This is the best chance we have. Yeah, I hate to say this, but the Bureau of Prisons, they're going to care about the liability. I'd like to say that they care about the people's lives. Okay, but I know they're going to care about the liability. Okay, and so I approach this as a liability level. And you can see there from my letter to Pam Bondi, I basically said, hey, the Bureau of Prisons do not have the resources to treat a whole bunch of genetically damaged people. Okay. So there's my letter to the Honorable Pamela Bondi, Attorney General, U.S. Department of Justice, and there's their letter back to me from Rear Admiral Bina, who he's a smart guy. This is a good letter. Boy, it's smarter than the FDA letter, that's for sure. Tomorrow we might put the Bina letter side by side with the FDA letter. In fact, Alex, let's plan on doing that tomorrow. I'll send you both as separate files, but let's put the Bureau of Prisons letter next to the FDA letter and look at them side by side, and look at the difference in the response that we're getting from the Bureau of Prisons as opposed to what we got from the FDA. So, folks, just so y'all know, I don't get discouraged. I really don't. We're in this battle for the long run. We're going to see this thing through. Those who did this to y'all are going to pay. We will see justice. I don't get discouraged. It's not part of my nature. Okay, I'm going to get up every day, earlier and earlier, and work harder and harder. That's just always been who and what I am. And we're going to get through this. We're going to see this. Okay, we're going to see this through. But at the same time, it is kind of nice to get a letter like this. So everybody enjoy, let's enjoy this as a victory. Let's take a victory lap. Let's enjoy this as a victory. This is a victory for us, and let's enjoy it as a victory. I plan on enjoying it as a victory. It feels good. Okay. Now, he doesn't say he's going to check the blood levels, so we still got more work to do. But let's hold here for today. We'll pick up here tomorrow. We'll put this letter side by side with the FDA letter. Everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe to us, and post us on your social media. Post us on everybody else's social media. Let's get the word out there, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you.